Aiko considered his handlers as the guard approached. These men had been chosen to protect the sacrifice, a deed of tremendous honor. They were sure to be commanded upon their return to the capital. Even before they received this duty, temple guards enjoyed privileges as guardians of the faith. They were the sanctified warriors of the sun god, the defenders of souls. They were also men of authority, regardless of whether that authority came not from them but from the priests behind them, who wielded power over other officials of the church and capital. They had undergone harsh training to earn their rank. Both their loyalty to the realm and their faith in the Creator who forged heaven and earth and had bestowed souls on mankind were infallible. And yet, as children of men and fathers in their own right, it was no easy task to offer up the healthy, innocent boys standing before them to an unknown fate. The priest had lectured them before they left the capital. The castle in the mist does not demand that we be heartless. The compassion you will feel toward the sacrifice and the sadness you will feel upon leaving him are all necessary to the success of the ritual. The castle will not be satisfied with just the sacrifice. We must also offer up the pain in our hearts for it to be sated. It was all right to be sad. It was all right to lament. It was all right to feel anger. But it was not all right to run away. The castle must have its due. Greetings, everyone. I am Lotus Prince, and for this Let's Play, well, it's a long overdue game. We are going to play Aiko, Castle in the Mist. Yes, I discovered that this book existed about a year ago, and I was shocked that it did. It turns out that it was written in Japan and later translated and brought over to America, but I hadn't seen it in bookstores because I certainly hadn't gone looking for it. That kind of got me back in the mood to play this game. I never owned it for the PS2, which is why I didn't play it right before Shadow of the Colossus, but lo and behold, the HD collection came out with both Aiko and Shadow of the Colossus. So now I have the game, now we can play it. I have made a Shadow of the Colossus Let's Play years ago, but I still, if you haven't seen it, I do recommend that you watch this one first, because Aiko came out before Shadow of the Colossus, and it's kind of known now, especially with the fact that they're packed together in one collection, but the games have a sort of connection to each other, and that connection will be apparent in Shadow of the Colossus later on in the game. So, that said, what is the deal with this game? To put it very simply, it almost sounds kind of like what I read out of that little excerpt from the book. You are a young boy who is brought to the castle in the mist as a sacrifice, because if you don't, something bad will happen. So you're going into the castle, and now the ritual's been performed, you want to get the hell out of here. Unfortunately, probably not going to happen, considering you're not the first sacrifice, and you probably won't be the last. Lots of people have come in before you. Your village has a custom that whenever a small boy with horns is born, that boy is who is going to be determined to be the sacrifice. Why is this the case? Ancient rules. It's questionable as to whether people know anymore. All that they know is that bad things will happen if you are not brought to the castle, and so you are. What I read from the book is pretty much the beginning of the game, and so that's all you're going to know before going in. The game plays very differently from Shadow of the Colossus. Both games are similar in that you're a normal-sized human in this world that's far bigger than you. And what is the deal with this? What were these things? I don't know. It's been far too long. But instead of fighting Colossi, you're fighting those sort of shadow figures. They popped up in Shadow of the Colossus at the beginning during cutscenes, but they weren't your enemies in the game. That was almost a cameo. They're all over the place in Aiko, Castle in the Mist. The game's just called Aiko. The book has the extra title. So you have to deal with this as you attempt to escape. And as you attempt to escape, you meet one other person whom will change your fate. How? We're not yet sure. So, that said, let's go crazy.
Remember this music? It's been a while. However, this time we're taking on the predecessor. Very pleased that they used the Japanese art for this one. Really captures the mood. Absolutely gorgeous. Here it comes. How long has it been since I've played this? I don't even know. I was playing on a newly purchased fat PS2. A launch model, no less. I was late to the game, but still. From the architecture alone, you could tell that this and Shadow of the Colossus exist in a similar universe, if not the same one. That's how you do it. Nice. Well then. You're gonna see a lot of situations like this when it's like, who built this? How? And for what purpose? I love the air of mystique that this game has about it. That's awesome. That is truly amazing. Here we go. That place is for me. This sucks. What do I do once I'm in there? Wait. That's pretty much all there is to it. And you saw there were a lot more sarcophagi where that came from. Man, there is no way out. Ow. Right on the head. And now the game begins. We're just kind of wandering around. What do you even do here? Well, well. Looks like we're not alone after all. Time to play. The first thing you'll notice is that the moment you get gameplay, you appreciate how just large the room is. Well then.